Hello. Hello. Okay, so I think there's sound now, yeah. So we're just going to be looking at the definition of terms: mindset, entrepreneurship, enterprise, and then we'll be looking at the importance of an entrepreneurial mindset, how to create a business, and then business mapping tools. So yes, guys, if you can hear me, kindly let me know. Like I said, we're going to be looking at what the mindset. What is a mindset? When we say mindset, what comes to mind? Now, as we already know, the mind is the engine of the body. The mind is what controls the entire human frame. So just like the engine is to the car, so is the mind to a man. So it is important the kind of mind that you have. And so when we talk about mindset, we are talking about the default mode of your mind. How is your mind set? To what frequency or to what capacity? How do you perceive things? How do you think? What's your attitude toward things? So that's what we mean when we say mindset. Now let's look at this term, entrepreneur. I know this is a word. Oh, thank you. Chinenye says I can hear you. Thank you very much. Now, the term entrepreneur is something that is everywhere. Yeah. So just like you have AI now, like a buzzword, so also there's entrepreneur. We hear that word all the time. Entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? Now, see, we says an entrepreneur is a person or group of persons who sees a problem, takes opportunity of that problem by creating a solution to that problem, takes all the risk involved in the process, and is rewarded for solving the problem. Now, if you look at this definition, you see that certain terms are highlighted: opportunity, solution, reward, and then risk. Yeah. So these four terms are highlighted. These terms are very important to the whole essence of entrepreneur, right? Of entrepreneurship, I beg your pardon. But so for you to be an entrepreneur, you must be a person who what? Sees problem, take opportunity of that problem by creating a solution, take all the risk involved in the process, and is rewarded for solving the problem. Now that is who an entrepreneur is. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is simply the process of starting up the enterprise, while an enterprise is the business that is built in the process. Now, for you to understand everything I'm saying, when you hear the word entrepreneur, you're looking at the who, the person. When you hear the word entrepreneurship, you're looking at the how, the process. And when you hear the word enterprise, you're looking at the what. Is that okay? We're looking at the word. So please, I am really banking on because I can't see your face. I'd like to know if you're following me, if you're learning anything by helping me put comments or type nuggets on the comment section to help me know that you can hear what I am saying or you're with me. Now, it's very important you understand that reward is the last phase in an entrepreneur cycle. An entrepreneur is a problem solver who gets rewarded for the problem he or she solves. Why do I have to say this? It is because, yes, I understand that we're all looking for money. Remember, what we're trying to help you get at is the entrepreneur's mindset. How do entrepreneurs think? So that you can tune your mind to that way of thinking and actually help you to become an entrepreneur. In the whole process, in the whole journey of the entrepreneur, the reward is the last phase. And when we talk about reward, we're talking about being paid for the problem you are solving. You could be paid in whatever currency. This currency could be money, it could be relationship, it could be goodwill, it could be fulfillment, it could be satisfaction. So the reward an entrepreneur gets is entirely defined by him. So money is not always all there is to the reward of an entrepreneur. So that's entirely something you want to find out for yourself. People who are socialpreneur, for instance, money is not what they get rewarded for. They get rewarded for, the satisfaction, the fulfillment they get from, being of help to humanity. Qualities of an entrepreneur. As you can see on the screen, you have initiative, wide knowledge, willingness to assume risk, open-minded, optimistic, adaptability, self-confidence, leadership quality, orientation towards hard work. Well, this is not a full business school, yeah, but as you can see from this circle, I'll just quickly look at each of these one by each. When you say initiative, an entrepreneur is a person who takes initiative. He sees a problem, he looks for a problem, he sees a problem, he doesn't run away from the problem, he doesn't complain about the problem that that person. He takes an initiative. The next characteristics you're seeing is wide knowledge. An entrepreneur is not one who is lazy about studying. An entrepreneur is a vast reader. He consumes knowledge. He's a searcher, a seeker for new truth. He's willing to assume risk. He's optimistic. You're getting into something. How do you even know it's going to work? So at the end of the day, the entrepreneur is optimistic. By the time I put this conference together, what was the assurance that people were going to come here? Right? So you are optimistic. You adapt. As things are happening, you are adapting. Yesterday, we couldn't have Mr. Emeka Nobis, and Saturday network was crazy. We had to adapt. And moving till today, yeah? Self-confidence. See, this one, we can dwell here. No matter what or anything you have as an individual, if your self-confidence is dampened, I'm sorry, you may not be able to achieve anything meaningful. Leadership, quality, orientation to hard work. These are all qualities of an entrepreneur. Now, when we talk about the entrepreneurship mindsets, now we know who an entrepreneur is, what is entrepreneurship, what is an enterprise, the qualities of an entrepreneur. We've looked at mindset. When we say the entrepreneur's mindsets, we're looking at the attitude, the perspective, the way an entrepreneur sees things. He doesn't see things the way every other person sees things. And last on Saturday, while I was trying to step in for a speaker, I didn't even know I would end up being the one to take the session. Yeah, when I was trying to step in for someone, I was saying to Ross that an entrepreneur looks for a problem. He doesn't run away from problem. He sees problem and he takes opportunity. You can call him an opportunist because he sees problem as an avenue to creating wealth. So that perspective or that mindset is very, very important. Now let's quickly look at steps to creating a business. There's so many steps to creating a business. Please, if you're still here, can I see your emoji? If you're here and you can hear me, please, can I see get some emojis, some comments in the comment section? Are you learning anything? Is it making sense what you're teaching? Yeah, I hope I'm not speaking too many business terms. I know this is not a business training class, yeah, but Chinenye, thank you. So Chinenye is the only one that is responding. Is there any other person? If there are other people here, please can I see your emojis in the chat session? So yes, steps to starting a business. One of the steps to starting a business, there's so many other models, but the one I want to talk on here is design thinking. I don't know if we've heard about this term before. Now, design thinking is not, it's a new knowledge. Yeah, it's been there for so I got my certification on design thinking in 2016 from Inspire Africa. So it's a new body of knowledge that is still being explored. Now, when we say design thinking, what are we talking about? There's so many ways, but design thinking, it's not that, you cannot get this from the name and just say design and think, But when we say design thinking, we're looking at a human-centered approach to solving a problem. It is human-centric. In design thinking, the solution to the problem is not in the cloud. It is built around human. It is human-centered. It has the end users who are humans, have hearts in the designing of that solution. Now, there are 5 stages to design thinking. There are 5 stages. The first stage is empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and then test. Let's look at these phases one by each. When we say empathize, this involves stepping into the shoes of the target audience whose problem you want to solve. You put aside all assumptions and ensure your solution is an answer to the actual problem of the target audience, not an assumed solution. I need to take note of that word. It's an actual, ensure your solution is an answer to the actual problem. So that means that you step into the shoes of your audience, of the customers, you feel their pain. You understand them. How do they think? Who are they? There are different ways to know them. I'm sure I'll see if time will permit us to help you to see how you can begin to know your target audience. Yeah. So this is what empathizing, the empathizing phase in design thinking simply just means you understanding your audience, stepping into their shoes, feeling their pain. One of the ways you can do this is through survey. When you take survey, what you're doing is you're trying to understand exactly the pain of the people you want to solve. At the end of the day, you can now narrow your solution down to say, okay, these are the set of people that I am whose problem I want to solve. Now, after empathizing, now you have gone out in, remember the empathize phase, you've gone out to do your findings, you've done your survey, you've felt the exact pain of those people. The next stage is to define. In the defining phase, you bring together all your findings from the empathizing phase. And now, at this stage, you now know exactly what the problem is. I know some of you will be wondering, why is she laying emphasis on actual problem, real problem? It is because it is very possible for you to carry a product, design a service for an audience, and that product or service is not meeting their actual problem. If at all, it will be meeting an offshoot of the problem. So that means your solution is not solving the root problem. It is only solving the fruits. I'll give you an example. For instance, you go to a village. I don't know if there are still any such villages yeah, they still are. A village where they don't have light. They've never seen light. You don't even know what light is. So you say, you just get to that village, and then the next thing you're doing is that you get there and say, these people in this village, they don't even know what light is. Therefore, you want to sell, what's it called now? You want to teach them how to iron their clothes. Now, you will now leave what the problem is and now go and bring iron and say, okay, you want to set up a place where they can iron their clothes. It's true that they are wearing rough clothes, ruffled clothes. Remember, like, so their clothes are rough, squeezed. Then you now come as an entrepreneur and say, okay, you want to go and bring iron. So you now go and open a shop and say, this is iron. And then you start selling pressing iron. My dear brother and sister, that's your pressing iron is not the actual problem of that community. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? See, if you can understand what I'm saying, if you understand this example I'm using, please let me see your comments or your emojis in the comment section. The actual problem of these people, if you did your empathizing phase well, you will see that it is not that they just like to wear squeeze clothes. It is that they do not have lights. So the actual problem of that community is not iron. The actual problem of that community is electricity. Do anybody understand? So that's what we mean when we say solve the real problem, the actual problem. Ensure that your solution is targeted at the actual problem, at the real problem. You will see that thank you, Amara says, well understood, thank you. So you will see that if you bring in electricity, then your pressing iron business can move. You can now begin to teach them that there is a way you can just use iron to press your clothes and all of that. Well, let me not stay too long here. Like I said, this is not a complete business school. If you want to learn the nitty-gritty of entrepreneurship, you can chat me up after the session. But let's just quickly run through this. So I hope at this point you understand what we mean when we say the ideal problem, the real problem. Now, after you define where you have gotten your problem statements, the next thing you want to do is you want to ideate. At the ideation stage, this is where you begin to think of the solution to the problem. This is where you begin to think of the solution to the problem. Now you begin to brainstorm. You begin to think outside the box. At this stage, this is a very crucial stage in the design thinking phase. This is the stage where many people lost it, because at the brainstorming stage, you are thinking of what makes sense to you. At this stage, your idea may not make sense to you, but you know what? You do not throw away any idea. At this phase, no idea that comes to mind is useless. So you brainstorm. You think of new ideas outside the box. A model you can use when brainstorming is the model called Scamper. S means to substitute. Substitute means that you think about how this thing has been done. A very good example is your Nokia 3310. I don't know if we have plenty Gen Zs here. They may not understand what I'm talking about if there's any Gen Z, but I truly, so when phone came out, it was Nokia 3310, yeah, and then we moved to BBM. Substitution means you're bringing in a new way. It's from BBM, from those of you that were doing them to go that year. It's to go that is now your new WhatsApp. So you see, substitution. WhatsApp has substituted for to go. In fact, to go was first substituted by BBM, and then now it is WhatsApp. In some cases, you have to combine. So you come up with a new idea, and then you infuse it into the idea that is already existing. Sometimes you have to adjust. Adjust means you have to tweak a bit. Yeah, is this too high? Is this too low? M means to modify, magnify, or minify. Modify means it's almost the same thing as adjusting. Yeah, so you're going to sort out some new things, bring in some new features. To magnify means you are going to blow up bigger what has been existing. Minify means that you're going to reduce it a little. So my team members were telling me, yeah, I'm not all the techie waiting call. So my team members were telling me that, do you know what the StreamYard is? So StreamYard is a minified version of what all those your big OBS and all the rest, what those studios used to be. Now, and then apart from modifying, the next thing you want to do, the P stands for putting. You put in new things, and then the E stands for eliminating. After you've done your ideating, the next thing you want to do is to prototype. Prototype refers to you creating the dummy version of the original product. In prototyping, you create the dummy version of the original product. Now, the reason why you do this is because you want to try, you want to see the response of the market to this your product, so that you do not spend money to mass produce something that still needs a bit of tweaking here and there. That's the essence of prototyping. And in prototyping, there are two kinds of prototype. You have the high fidelity prototype and the low fidelity prototype. Yeah. So, and then the next, after you prototype, you test. When you're testing, it means that you release the product to the market or to a set of people who now test run and give you feedback on how the product is faring. Now, let's move on to business mapping tools. Business mapping tools. Okay, so yes, guys, the comment section is a bit, it's really, 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 really low. Can I get some energy in the comment section? What have you learned so far? From where we have come to where we are now, what have you learned? Have you learned anything? Is it even worth it? Are you saying who send on yourself? Who send on when they teach this kind of session for inside Skillsprint Conference? Let me see your comments in the chat room. I'm waiting. Tell me, can I continue? Should I continue? Should we just take a break now? Wait until the Mechanobics comes up. Let's see your comments in the comment section. Yes, I'm waiting. Use your favorite emoji. Tell me what you've learned. Tell me one new thing. You're like, I didn't know this about starting up a business. Let's go. I'm looking at the comment section. If I'm still audible, please let me know. Please let me know if I'm still audible. Yes. So thank you guys. While your comment is coming in, let's just quickly continue. We're looking at business mapping tools. Now I want to look at business mapping tools. I'm pretty sure you know what's a map is. Yeah, a map is something that gives you direction. So when we say business mapping tools, we're looking at tools that can help you set the direction of your business, that can help you strategize on your business, that can help you draw out your business, that can help you estray your business. Now, there's so many business mapping tools, but most common of them, and that you people would always come across when you are maybe applying for grants and all of that, is the business plan. I'm sure if you have ever tried to apply for a grant, I'm sure you've seen that time and time again. In fact, you're talking to an investor, they're asking you, where is your business plan? The business plan is a business mapping tool. But away from the business plan, for the purpose of this conference, we're going to be looking at the BMC, the business model canvas. But then let's begin with the business model. What's the business model? Now, a business model is a plan for how an organization makes profits or generates revenue. The document looks at how the enterprise, take note, creates, captures, and delivers value. Now, when we say creates, what do we mean? We mean the document looks at the solution the business is creating. Now, every business must be solving a problem. If your business is not solving a problem, then you're not in business, because at the end of the day, it is the problem you're solving that you're getting paid for. I was saying to you guys on Saturday, the value you bring to the table is what you're being paid for. People don't just remove money and give you. It is the value that people get from you, whichever way, whatever, in whatever form. Father-daughter relationship, parents-children relationship, big sister, younger, however, clients, so whatever the relationship, it is because there is a value that there is a problem that you are solving. So if you must get into business, we're looking, you must be ready to solve a problem. And then that document also captures, so the resources the business needs to create value. Now, it's not just enough to be excited. You've created the problem, you've found the problem. What are the resources to push out this that you found? What are the activities? What are the infrastructure needed? Can this thing be done in one room? Can it be started in your bedroom? Do you need to have an office space? Do you need to have people come together with you to do it? All of this must be considered in the way you go about the things you're doing. Now, the next thing is delivering. The document also captures how you sell the products that you have, and are people willing to pay for these products? What are the components of a good business model? Now, a good business model has 4 components: the offer, the customer, infrastructure, and financial viability. I've talked about the offer before. In this case, we're looking at the value proposition. These are some of the things that we're going to be helping you and hold you through in the 1-month mentorship session for you to be able to come up with your own. For you to be able to come up with your own. In the value proposition, this is where you define exactly what problem, what makes your business unique, what problem is it solving? Why is it different? Remember, you're not doing something entirely new under the sun. The solution you're bringing to the table, chances are that someone else is already creating such solution. So what makes you different? Why should I come to you? Why should I leave the person I've been dealing with before? And then the customer. Now, without customer, there is no business. It explains the reason why a lot of people say that the customer is king. Because this is not a detailed business class, we'll not get into that conversation now. If you want to learn more about business, like I said before, business training, you can chat me up here. So when you're looking at the customers, this thing must be defined in your business model. That document must define these things. That's what we're saying. You must study and understand the commonalities of your customer. Listen to me. All of you here in this training, there is something that you all have in common. Everybody that applied for this, that registered for this conference, if we begin to break it down and narrow it down, there is something you all have in common. So when you're trying to know your customer base, you must understand them. How do you understand them? There are certain characteristics, certain features that you can look out for. You want to look at their demographics, you want to look at their psychographics, you want to look at their sexuality, you want to look at their geographic location. And then after you look at your customer, the next thing is your infrastructure. I don't want to spend too much time there anymore. And then financial ability. Listen, so how viable is it? You need to look at the cost of operating the business and the profits that you probably get. That's what you want to look at here. So now that the business model is, let's look at the business model canvas. I talked about the business plan. That is what everybody knows, but I need you to understand that the business model canvas is like a simplified business plan. To be able to get your business plan, if you understand the business model canvas very well, you will be able to get your business plan. And I hope you know by now how much it costs to write a business plan. Now, the business model canvas is a business plan as well, but it's a one-page business plan that helps to illustrate the business. Now, the BMC, for short, the business model canvas. So from now henceforth, I'm going to be using BMC to mean the business model canvas. Now, the BMC has 9 building blocks. These blocks are value proposition. So now if you can hear me, I'd like someone to be typing or to help me put, as I'm naming the different blocks, please be typing them in the comment section for me to know that you can hear me and for me to know that people are still in this chat with me. So the 9 blocks of the BMC are value proposition, the customer relationship or so customer relationship, channels of distribution, the customer segments, the revenue stream, your key activities, the key partners, the key resources, I beg your pardon, and cost structure. Let me see. Yes, thank you, Obertino. So that's the only person that is typing that I can see. So it means that's the only person that is with me in the chat. Maybe I'll run through them again. Albert, so you can, yes, so customer relationship, channels of distribution, customer, revenue streams, where we can actually see them: revenue stream, key activities, key partners, key resources, and then your cost structure. Now, on the screen, this a business model page. It is the one page. No, the business model canvas is the one page and it's block. This is the template for a business model canvas. Let me see if I can maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes to run. So guys, I'm still waiting for your comments in the comment section. What? I cannot be 6:30. So guys, if you can hear me, kindly let me know. Use the comment section, please. Use the comment section so I can know when I'm not audible or when something has gone wrong with the audio. Please, I beg. Okay, so guys, the BMC, as we can see, I've explained to us, I've emphasized that it must be one page. It must be one page, not 2 pages. Say, no, it must be one page and it must be drawn. This is the blocks that will be filled. Once I pick up this BMC, any trained business person, once they pick up your BMC, they can tell you the direction of your business. They can tell you if something is wrong with your business from this block. So we usually say to people that the BMC is made up of 2 sides. It has 9 blocks, but it is made up of 2 sides. It is made up of the cost structure or the cost side, and then the profit side or the revenue side, whatever you want to call it. And the cost side has 4 sides, and the revenue side has 5 sides. The reason is because we say that the money you spend, the costs aspect of a business must not be higher than the revenue part. If the cost incurred in a business is higher than the revenue, then that business is making a loss. If the cost is equal to the revenue, then that business is not making any profit. And we're in business to make profits, isn't it? So the profit side of the BMC has 5 blocks. Thank you, Uchina. Thank you very much. So as you can see, when filling the BMC, different school of thoughts. There are 2 school of thoughts. Some people say that you begin from the value proposition. Another school of thought says that you begin from the customer segment, that when you know the customers, you can now know the value you are bringing to them. I am of the school of thought, so I'm the one training you now. I'm of the school of thoughts that the BMC should be filled from the value proposition. So this is where you begin from. Now, when we say value proposition, we are asking you what value, what solution, what problem is your business solving. I'm going to use fashion, for instance. Now, there's so many fashion designers, but do you know that each of them can have their unique selling proposition? From their unique selling proposition, they will know the customers, the target audience that they are targeting. There are people who can say we are selling convenience. That means to say, now, during my training, amongst the several startups that we trained in the GIZ project, now we had several fashion designers, but there was one very one that stood out for me. Our value proposition was we serve convenience. We bring you convenience by taking. So now I'm giving you an example of a value proposition. Our value proposition was we serve convenience by taking away the stress of coming to the shop for body measurements. I hope you know that that's a problem for many women. If you are like me, for me, that's already a reason why I will go and meet this tailor. There was another person too. In fact, these people I'm calling now, they were so good that they were among the 5 people that were sponsored to Italy to go and perfect their fashion skills. So it gives you an idea of how crucial and important this your BMC is. If you walk up to any investor and you give them your BMC, if they go through it, they know if you know what you're saying or not. There was another one that says, another fashion designer that says a value proposition is giving you more value for your money by helping you get multiple styles in one fashion. Are you seeing people's value proposition? Once you know your unique selling points, from your unique selling points, your customers are identified. The lady that says that we sell convenience, do you know what she does? She doesn't tell people to come to the shop for measurements. She tells them to send their recent picture. By looking at the picture, she can pick their measurements. And you know what? She had clients who were in diaspora. So all she was doing for people in diaspora is she will now leave 1 inch or 2 inches, just in case, so that you can slim fit. Now that is your value proposition, your unique selling point. After you've been able to identify the problem you're solving, the unique selling point, the problem in that, the gap in that sector that you are coming in to fill by bringing in your business, you now know the customer segments. Who am I serving? Are they nursing mothers? They're tailors who specialize in creating styles for nursing mothers. I hope you know. They're tailors who specialize in creating styles for pregnant women. They're fashion designers who just specialize in creating clothes for babies. These are, now you see that from the value proposition, we can now tell the customers that you are serving. Now, after you know the customers you're serving, the next thing you want to look at is your customer relationship. Customer relationship means, how do you get feedback? How do your customers communicate with you? And how do you get feedback from them? Your customer channel means, how do you deliver the value you have, the solution you're creating? How do you deliver it to your customers? Then you want to look at, now when you've been able to define all of this, customer relationships and relationship, an example can be 24-hour sales. An example can be online. Usually, most times, some of the things you have in customer relationship would also repeat themselves in the channels. It can be a survey form. It can be a feedback form. These are all avenues of customer relationship. It can be a customer call center. It could be a complaint box. These are all avenues to, the business. In fact, once you know the business, the value proposition, the business by itself will tell you what kind should you use. Now the channel is, you have your offer, you have your value. How do you deliver the value? What is the means? What is the medium via which your value proposition gets to your customer? That's the channel. How they've paid? How do you deliver to them? It could be WhatsApp, could be via what do they call these people? These riders, whatever, you can think it through. But I want to stay a bit on this part, the key activities, key resources, and key partners. Now, there is a reason why it is carrying the adjective key. It is not just any activity. It is not just any resources. It's not just any partner. What are key, the main things that must be done for your value proposition, the offer you are delivering to get to your customer? When we say key activities, we are saying, what are those activities that must happen before your value, the value you are proposing, can get to your customer? For example, a fashion designer knows that one key activity that must happen is that you must know the design. So the customer must have selected a design. If they don't give you a design, you cannot start sewing. So that's a key activity. Fabric, how do you put it now? Fabric differentiation or fabric picking or purchasing of fabric. That is a key activity that must happen. For a fashion designer, you will sweep your store, isn't it? But sweeping of your store is not a key activity, because if you don't sweep your store, it does not stop your value from getting to your customer. I don't know if you understand. Does anybody? Well, I'm really hoping you understand. This is the essence of the mentoring session. For those of you who really want to get into this and you really want to say, oh, I really want to build a business. Yeah. From now, this is not just limited to AI, because you can see that it's the how and what to build a business from AI. It's not just limited to the AI skills that you have learned. It cuts across for any business whatsoever. All the examples I've been using since I've not been using AI. Now, that's your key activity. Key resources. You know what resources are? What are those things that you must have for your value to be delivered to your customer? Key resources. A fashion designer knows that he must have a table. That's a key resources. He or she knows that you must have staff to sew. That's a key resources. You must have iron. It's a necessity for a fashion designer to ensure you have iron. This is a key resources. You must have space, a physical space. This is key resources. Now, your key partners, who are those? Now, let me tell you, when it comes to key partners, I'll just give you a very simple way to know who your key partners are. Your key partners are those people that if anything happens to them, it affects your business. They could be your suppliers, they could be, so you just know them. They are key. That's why, take note of that word, key. If anything happens to them, it will affect your business. For example, if anything happens in the north and the road is blocked, the people who are baking cake, they know now that by default that prices are going to skyrocket. Why? Because your milk, the raw material using to make milk and all the things you use for, is gotten from the north. So if anything happens to that part, so you see that your suppliers are key partners. So you must be able to itemize them. The next thing you want to look at is your cost structure. Your key resources and all of those things is money you're going to use, man. So cost structure, what are those things you need to spend money on? And then revenue stream. Apart from the cash cow of this business, what other means can make money for the business? So for instance, you're a fashion designer, yeah? And then you're in an area where they are building houses. One revenue stream for you can be, all right, let me bring in a fridge where I can be selling cold drinks and cold water. That's a revenue stream. So remember, revenue stream, we're looking at other means that that business can generate money apart from the cash cow. The cash cow of a business is the actual business, the main business. That's what we mean by cash cow. But in revenue stream, you begin to look at other means that you can generate money from. Oh, can we do POS here? There's no bank around here, and people are always there. A lot of people here. People have been coming to my shop and say, "Madam, you do POS, you do POS." So I can start a POS business. That's a revenue stream. Yeah. So if you're still with me, like I said, I don't know why you want me to always tell you use the comment section. So this is where I will be calling it a wrap on this topic. I said to you in conclusion that the business model canvas is a living document and should be treated as such. What do I mean by that? You do not just come up with your business mapping to say, I've created my BMC. So now so it go be as it was in the beginning, is now ever shabby world without end. No, the business model canvas is a living document. As the business evolves, as the economy evolves, you go back to your business model canvas. You can tweak it every day, every time, yeah, so that you can bring in new happenings. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I will be calling it a day on the how and what to build a business from AI. Thank you so much, guys. I really hope you guys had a nice time listening to this. So please let me see in the comment section, did you enjoy your class? Was it worth it? Did you learn anything? If yes, kindly just let me know. Comments. I would have said questions, but I think we'll take the question. Yes, so thank you, Chinenye. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Revenue streams another way to make money besides your main business. Besides the main business. Yes. Value proposition is the problem your business can solve. No. Value proposition is the uniqueness. What makes your business different? The solution your business is bringing that makes it different from another person offering that same business. You heard the value proposition I was giving you when I was using fashion. I gave you two fashion designers, but with two different value propositions. So the value proposition is not the problem you're solving. It is your unique selling point that makes your own business. Yes, it's part of the problem. It defines the problem, but it defines the problem in a unique way such that it tells me, why should I come to you as opposed to going to someone else who offers the same service? You guys, you buy things. When you buy things, there's a reason why you prefer to go to shop A than to go to shop B. There is a reason. That reason is the unique selling point of that business. So I hope we get that. Okay, so Sissy says you learned about the revenue stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, yes, Chinenye, thank you. I'm glad you got that. So yes, I will just repeat again. This, though we're wrapping up the conference today, but when we're wrapping up now, the link to pay for the mentorship session. Now, those who pay for the mentorship session are those who are going to get the certificate after 1 month. You're going to have activities. One of the activities that we're going to handhold you through in the mentorship session is this your business model canvas. We're going to walk you through to be able to come up with it at the end of that month. Correct it, make corrections for them, give you ideas, and help you to have your BMC. And then also, you're going to have, those of you who were in the class with Elijah Otto yesterday, you see that people who attended that class yesterday, they can't say what they're doing on Telegram. The class took place on Telegram, they're already prompting. Yeah, and that's just the beginning. Now we're going to do that for 1 month too. So it is only those who get into the mentorship session for 1 month that will have access to this kind of closed information where you can ask questions, you can answer, and help you come up with all of this. At the end of that 1 month, you will get your certificate. Certificate is not going to be given to everybody because you registered. No, certificate is going to be given to those who participate in the mentorship session, and all the what's it called, resources that we have used for this conference is going to be made available to all of those people who register for the mentorship session. Also, these sessions are not going to be left on YouTube. We're going to put everything down, and so if you want to you want to get access to the replays of this session, the link to pay for them would also be shared in the group. The mentorship session is going to commence by next week, so there's no time for too many drama. We're starting up the mentorship session by next week, and so it means that all those people who pay, it's just 2,000 naira. It's a giveaway. That's not for mentorship. That's for you to make commitments so that you can be serious with your activities and all of that. Yeah. So that is that for that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Within the next So guys, Emeka Nobi should be joining us by 8:30. Right? So you know how we do it now. The link to the other session is going to be dropped on the comment box now. Just click and join and wait in the next session. Thank you guys. It was nice having to do this with you all. Bye.